Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Video from inside a squad car shows what police say really happened after they arrested several protesters in Shelby Township.
The slowest mail delivery in the country has leaders concerned about Detroit's absentee ballots arriving on time.
And Michigan's COVID numbers keep rising, prompting a new call from health experts for all of us to think about what we're doing when we step out of our homes. The fight against coronavirus tops our news at 6 as the cases keep climbing.
Let's take a look at where things stand as we hit the 6 o'clock hour. Michigan reporting a two-day total of 3,881 new cases. That includes Sunday along with today, and along with that have come another 29 people have died from COVID over that span. Michigan's rolling 7-day average then is now about 2,000 for the first time.
The state's weekly report on COVID spread in schools shows 30 schools are reporting new outbreaks. 5 of those are in Macomb County, including Dakota High School, which currently has 5 cases. Michigan State University is still the school with the highest number of cases at 1,664. It's clear more needs to be done to help slow the spread of COVID in Michigan.
So today, some top health experts held a roundtable in hopes of reminding us all what we can do to help and be better. Priya Mann live with that message. And Priya, the colder weather is a game changer here that has these doctors concerned.
Yeah, game changer is a great word, Devin. You know, up until this point, we've been able to safely socialize with a few people outside. But even with that option, we're seeing a troubling surge in cases, and health officials say we all need to start making some drastic changes, especially as the winter months approach.
It's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Between the flu season and a Michigan winter, the state's chief medical executive is bracing for a long fight against COVID-19.
I think we have what it takes. We brought that curve down in the spring, and I truly believe that we can do it again. And we've had a little bit of time to prepare for this next surge that we're seeing now.
Having said that, health officials are deeply concerned about the rising number of cases across the state. Experts agree being around a few people outside is far safer than socializing indoors. But as it gets colder, people will be moving inside.
If you're in an enclosed space with not much ventilation, with lots of people, the more people you have, the more odds you have that one of those people is going to be spreading.
Before deciding to attend a small gathering, you should be asking yourself a few questions.
Are they wearing masks? Are they speaking loudly or shouting? What's the ventilation like?
While testing capacity has improved dramatically since the start of the pandemic, experts say it's more important than ever to stay vigilant.
Testing is not a get out of quarantine free card. You can test negative in the morning and be highly infectious in the afternoon.
Which is why health officials are again reminding people there are ways you can mitigate the spread of the virus.
But if you can just wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance, we will all be in a better place.
Now, between isolation and quarantine, the pandemic has been tough on our mental health. So experts are saying this is not the time to let your guard down. Hopefully, by doing those things, wearing a mask and social distancing, we can get those numbers trending in the right direction again. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
So important, especially with COVID fatigue kind of setting in on so many of us. All right, Priya.
Several people are facing charges after they were arrested at a protest against Shelby Township Police Chief Robert Shelby, who is back on the job despite some controversial tweets he made against the Black Lives Matter movement. And newly released video from inside a squad car appears to contradict claims that one protester was strip searched. Victor Williams has the latest from Macomb County, where today people gathered to push for the release of those who were arrested.
Well, protests are becoming more and more of a usual sight, but the one that's going on right here and behind me is in response to a protest where these folks say they were done wrong and they want something done about it. Nearly 24 protesters gathered outside of the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office to speak out against what they believe is an injustice. The arrest of several protesters in Shelby Township over the weekend. A handful were arraigned in court, charged with disturbing the peace, obstruction, resisting arrest, and assaulting an officer. It all stemmed from protesters initially demonstrating in the township on Saturday, and that's where all the turmoil began.
Once we stepped onto Van Dyke, they charged our crowd. They violently assaulted us, attacked people.
Hours later, a second protest was held in front of the police department to dispute those taken into custody earlier in the day. Even more arrested that same night.
officers came from behind who were not even in the station as officers simultaneously charged out of the station and began to assault us and brutally arrest us in the parking lot of the police department.
The group is also alleging that one of the protesters were illegally strip searched during the arrest.
That was just such a callous act and an egregious display of their power. She was strip searched by the officers in the middle of the street. It happened, it's a fact.
However, footage released by Shelby Township police shows something different. It appears she's fully clothed until she escapes the cuffs and removes the clothing herself. But despite the video evidence, these people won't stop until all charges are dropped.
As long as Shelby is a problem, we will be here.
And we also know that Tristan Taylor, one of the organizers for Detroit Will Breathe, was arrested as well. He's also being charged with refusing to provide a DNA sample to police on top of all of the other charges listed earlier. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Well, the chilly weather proving it has some staying power.
It does, but there's a chance most of us could avoid the rain tonight. Is that right, Ben?
Yeah, I think a lot of us are going to skate through here dry. No shortage of clouds out there, and there are a couple drops, but you can see in the sky conditions here, just Monroe, that's the only reporting station that's coming up with any rain right now. And again, that stuff is pretty light, and it's almost out of here. Temperatures tonight slowly starting to slide into the 30s. We're all in the 40s right now. By the way, averages this time of year, highs are in the upper 50s. So we are well below that as we head into tonight on to finish out this Monday. Here's what we're tracking. A couple sprinkles around tomorrow as well. Chances look a little bit better. We'll pinpoint those. Zeta is now a hurricane. The remnants of that will be onshore the second half of the week. Could have an impact on us. And there is a cold front coming through on Sunday, so if you've got weekend plans, we'll be tracking that down. If you want to check out what's going on for Halloween and maybe your election day forecast, that is all in the Local Forecasters app. You can get the 10-day outlook and a lot more. It's free in your app store by searching WDIV. Guys?
Ben, back to you shortly. A 2-year-old girl is in critical condition after being mauled by a dog and accidentally shot by her dad. It happened at the girl's home on Weyburn near Berkshire on Detroit's east side. Police say this was a stray dog that rushed in as someone opened a door at the home. The dog then attacked the girl, biting her on the head and face. Police tell us the girl's father grabbed his gun, shooting and killing the dog and accidentally hitting his daughter's arm. Police are investigating if it was a stray dog or if it belonged to the girl's family.
With hundreds of thousands of votes already cast in the November election, a recent report on the U.S. Postal Service says Detroit has the slowest mail in the country.
Grant Herms explains it is raising concerns about whether ballots already in the mail will make it by Election Day.
The revelation of these new numbers could not have come at a worse time for nearly 1 million absentee ballots that have been requested but not returned yet, with just a week before the election. New numbers from the U.S. Postal Service are raising alarms about absentee votes already in the mail. The data released by order of federal judge showing Metro Detroit has the slowest average delivery nationwide, stretching into October. Right now, the national average is 86% of first-class mail arrives on time. In Detroit, that's down to 70%. The numbers were part of a new report from Michigan Senator Gary Peters, who's been leading a Senate investigation into slowdown since July. After allegations were made, Trump-appointed Postmaster General Louis DeJoy was purposefully slowing down the mail as the president continued to sow doubt about mail-in voting. Peters calling it unacceptably low. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson saying, though, recent ballots have been making it to clerks.
We haven't really seen any significant gaps in ballot receipt or delivery as we've tracked all of that through our system, which is encouraging.
But with the election just a week away, state officials are now urging voters to drop off their absentee ballots, even spoiling them to fill out new ones in person to make sure they voted. Governor Gretchen Whitmer speaking on Local 4 News Today, Sunday.
For those of you who haven't voted yet, you can vote right now in person, and I encourage you to do that. Don't wait until there's long lines on Election Day. We are still in the midst of a pandemic. You can go any day between now and next Monday and cast your vote in person.
The new numbers also complicate that decision from the state Supreme Court, saying all ballots had to be in on election night by 8 p.m. Anybody who wants to spoil their absentee ballot can do so. The latest date is Monday. In Detroit, Grant Herms, Local 4.
All right, Grant. So just 8 days now left until Election Day. Both candidates making appearances in the battleground state of Pennsylvania.
Joe Biden was there in a surprise visit today. Biden has limited his appearances to limit risk of spreading coronavirus for his campaign and supporters. Biden telling a crowd today President Trump has failed to keep Americans safe during the pandemic. Meanwhile, President Trump scheduling 3 appearances today in Pennsylvania. The president is trying to cut down on a narrow polling lead for Joe Biden in the state. President Trump telling supporters if he carries Pennsylvania, he believes he'll win the election. This is the start of what's going to be a busy week on the campaign trail for the president as he has rallies scheduled in more than 10 states.
Shifting now, let's turn the focus on our state.
Yeah, right now, Donald Trump Jr. is rallying with supporters in Washington Township. Tomorrow, President Trump will be in Lansing for a rally at the airport there. Wednesday, Vice President Mike Pence will be in Flint for a rally at Bishop Airport. And we've learned Jill Biden will be in Michigan Thursday, but no further details have been released about her visit.
Much more on the campaigns and the upcoming election ahead here at 6:30 on NBC Night News with Lester Holt right after this broadcast.
Medical researchers at a Big Ten school make a big discovery, and this time we're not talking about COVID. That's coming up in Good Health.
Also, some call it a moonshot, but there's some real hope Southeast Michigan could become the new home of the U.S. Space Command. The latest on that bid and the 4 keys to winning it coming up next.